Emergency literacy. So, emergency literacy is child knowledge of reading and writing before they learn it. Or we can say that they learn reading and writing in autodidact. We can use this emergency literacy to teach foreign language by some steps, such as let them choose the book that child interested in because it makes children get motivated to read it. And then maybe they don't know some words but they can understand the main point or the whole text of the story. For example, when they interested in Cinderella story, they maybe don't know about some words, but they know that Cinderella story is about princess story. And the last, parents can involve with their children's learning through reading aloud with them. So it can help them to read and pronounce word appropriately. And the next about language experience approach. So this is method to learn literacy based on experience of children as the topic of text. So sometimes the teacher use word cards. In this case, teacher and student make a sentence and write it and then separated the sentence word by word into cards. And teacher will shuffle the cards and mention the sentence again. And children try to arrange the cards into the sentence. From this method, we can teach foreign language because have some advantages, such as uh, children know how to make a sentence. They know how to make a sentence and knowing the meaning, the words, and they also learn about punctuation and how to create a sentence. Next, about whole words or keywords approach. This is process reading and remembering complete word. This method using flashcard or by giving students list of words in cards and asking them to repeatedly read and write it out. So this method can make children get more practice to recognize word by flashcard, and then it make them get motivated to read book quite early and add more their vocabulary list. Next, about phonics teaching. So this method focuses on letter sounds relation. It can teach children to know that letter and sounds have relationship, whether what we say and what we can read. So we can teach them by using story reading, classroom writing, sentence writing activities, song and rhythms. For example, of phonics teaching, when we teach children letter D, it has sounds D. For example, in word duck or dog. And then the letter A has sounds A. For example, in word apple. And then continuing to learn to read. The learning a range of reading strategy. We can use another book as a research to add new vocab and their reading skill. If they find a noun word, we can help them to understand the meaning by breaking up the words or giving clue or context. For example, they don't know about the meaning of pushchair, so we can break down the words into push and chair, so they will understand that it is about kind of chair. For another example, like branch, they don't know about the word of branch, so by using breaking down the words, we divided branch into breakfast and lunch. So they know the meaning of brunch is combination breakfast and lunch. And the next is focus teaching about written language form. There are five basic procedure for doing short, intensive, focus period of teaching written around lower level literacy feature. Like start from the meaningful context and focus the pupil attention of the unit and key feature being taught, and also giving input, provide variety practice, and give pupils opportunities to apply their knowledge and skill in different meaningful contexts. Next, developing reading and writing as discourse skill. For the first, fluency in writing and reading. For reading, read through the brain rather than mouth. So it means when we read aloud, it only focus on the text and how our mouth to pronounce the word. But when we read in silence, it will focus on the text and using our mind to understand the text. So the reading in silent is better than read in aloud. And then for writing, we should give them exercise to more practice in writing to make their writing more fluency. And the next about complexity of written language. Uh, the complexity of children language they read will match with their spoken level, because child's spoken level will based on what have they read, and what they read based on what have their uh, and their written based on what have they read, because those aspects also support with each other. And the next about learning to read for an audience. In this case, let's give children to apply their written skill in the reality by write for an audience. By this method, they will recognize writing for some purpose with certain audience and certain topic. For example, we asking them to writing letter, email, simple story, or articles, and so many others. And the last about learning conventional format for different types of discourse. As children develop as a reader and writer, we need to give them the variation of text, context, or genres of the text, so it will make them improve their literacy skill. That's all for me. Thank you.